sequencer. On my mark.
5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1. Mark.
Every fucking time. Every time. Hang on. Every time. Every time. There we go. There we go. Welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
And me, fan.
Bringing you your tech problem, your weekly dose of tech problems. Yeah, fucking hell. Dumb. Should we just go back to the credits? Hang on. We'll go back to the credits. And, no, just jokes. Welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
And me, fan.
Bringing you your weekly double tap of all things Space Marines and Laser Force. Every time I get a Windows update, man, it just resets the microphone away from this microphone, this one here, to nothing. Yeah.
Sure. Blame the Windows update.
I will blame the Windows update every time.
Obviously.
That's real annoying. It's real annoying. I forgot to check. That's okay. That's on me. Good morning, chat. Hope you guys are doing good. We hear what's a Windows update. What, do you use a Mac? Yuck. I'm a designer and I don't even use a Mac. Yuck. How the heck are you then? Nice to see you. You good?
Yeah, it's good. Good to see you too. I mean, the
right.
work has continued to be bullshit.
Cool.
Which is But aside from work being bullshit, actually things are pretty okay. And it's just I'm getting slightly better at separating the work stress from everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's could be better, could be worse. I mean, obviously it would be better if there, was a New Zealand trip in my future in
Not too late.
6 weeks, but there is not, and nor shall there be. So that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Still.
That's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Oh yeah. No. I am.
You've been there before.
I am fully expecting that, like, as Nats gets closer and closer and closer, I'm gonna get a little more fucked off that, work things have prevented me from doing the thing. And then Nats is going to happen and it's going to be getting streamed and I'll be watching the games going fuck. And then, and there'll be, teams I'll be watching going, man, I could have probably helped them do better than what they're doing. Because I would help. And then y'all motherfuckers are going to get done with the actual playing of the Nats, and then you guys are gonna go off and have like adventures for the next and I'm gonna start seeing like a bunch of stuff in various group chats with like, hey, look at this cool shit we're doing, and stuff's gonna pop up in the Discord like, hey, look at this is so fucking awesome, and I'll be like, yep, I've been there and I hadn't been there, and that would have been real fucking cool, and I'm just gonna be like, well, this fucking sucks.
One might say that this is not your first roadie FOMO.
Correct.
Yeah.
100% is not my first roadie FOMO.
Roadie
Diablo
FOMO.
in chat saying there's only one solution to this, book a flight. Yeah.
If it was just that,
if
that's
it was
an easy fix.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the afore alluded to work bullshit has 100% put paid to me being able to do a thing. Now, having said that, do I still have just a random flight tracker set up to just send me emails when there are good flight prices? Fuck yes. Like, that is still a thing. And now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll go down, for like early next year as like a birthday present to myself, because next year's I'll turn 45. God damn it! So that's kind of a milestone-ish birthday. So maybe that's the trip I do for that birthday. But yeah, no, it's Tails. You're not wrong. Severe FOMO. And I'm figuring that acknowledging the FOMO might help a little, maybe, and it'll also make good content. I'm thinking.
A bit
So
of column A, column B. So as you guys could tell, there's just the two hosts this evening. Unfortunately, DK not feeling super great today, so he has decided to take leave today. he's on sick leave from the Resupply Podcast today. I was gonna not approve it, but I'm a benevolent god. I approve sick leave.
Yeah, that PTO that really there's no P as part of it. It's just TO.
Just TO.
So,
I don't know.
yeah.
Oh yeah, just TO. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah,
I was
just
like,
TO.
what the fuck is PT? Oh yeah, I gotcha. But we do. Where's his doctor's note? He assures me he has one. He's gonna bring it in next time. We've got a guest waiting in the wings. We'll get to them soon. If you guys don't know who's waiting in the wings, but I thought we'd just touch on a few things before we get underway today. So for all of you who haven't seen, connecting to chat, that's weird. I think we're still good. We're still good. That's so strange. For those of you who haven't seen, a full team list has been set up in the Facebook event for Nats. So if you should go and have a look at those if you're coming to Nats. Even
if you're not going to Nats, you should still have a look at them because looks like looks like there should be some pretty good games at Nats this year. Like I am definitely looking forward to the streams of like pretty much all those games. Like it looks like it should be fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
For you guys.
It's for you guys. I think it'll be good. Honestly, I've got no idea who's gonna win this tournament. We'll do like a full what's it called? The Nats predictions or whatever that we do. I don't know. We'll do one of those at some point. Probably a week or two out from Nats.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
Us do opinions about tournaments coming up with the teams and projected rankings, and then we can see after the tournament like how right or wrong we were. No, we never do that.
Now we should be. This podcast should be indexed under dairy farming because the amount of milking that we'll be doing. Oh boy.
I didn't know where you were going with that for a moment. And I was like, okay, I trust you because I've known you for a very long time. And you are a very funny individual.
Nah. It's hype. It's hype. Don't worry about it. It's just hype. Don't believe
I
hype.
have no fucking clue what you were going to do with that. Well done.
Thank you. So, obviously, like, if you still want to come to Nats, you should come to Nats. Whether or not there'll be a team for you, that depends on how many other people you can convince to come with you to Nats. I know we've got like enough people where if you got like we really need like 4. I think if we had 4 extra people to turn up, then we could make a 7 team for Nats. But honestly, 6 teams, great, gonna be a great Nats. I think the last Auckland one that we played was either 6 or 7.
It was 6.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was 6. I would have to go back and look. I'm sure I've still got those stats somewhere because stats. But I'm pretty sure it was 6.
Andrew and you are still looking for people to split a rental car with for post-nat strip. So for those of you who are doing the post-nat stuff, as Troy has mentioned in chat, if you should be in the chat group that I've set up. Troy, maybe put a post in there and see if anyone wants to go in on a rental with you guys. Hopefully some people do. I will. We've sort of confirmed the Hobbiton stuff already, and like the accommodation, but the other activity stuff will tackle probably this week or next week. But yeah, things are shaping up for it to be a bloody awesome time. I can't wait. In terms of Auckland Laser Force, they're still not open, unfortunately. They are working diligently to get open. Hopefully, they'll be play ready within the next week or two.
Nice.
And then they'll do like a grand reopening when they are ready to go. But the insurance companies have kind of dragged their feet a little bit with payouts and organizing, all that sort of stuff, which is understandable given the amount of people that had to make
claims. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Is it really dragging your feet when it's one of those things where like probably like almost all of your customers in a given region actually put claims in?
Yeah.
There's only so many people to process those claims, and so I'm at this point not really inclined to slag the insurance companies too much. I mean, they're insurance companies, so we'll slag them a little because they're insurance companies. But yeah, I think with an event like that, with the amount of damage that there was to the amount of businesses
For sure.
and personal property and everything else, like
It's got to take
that's
time.
it's a massive undertaking to sort that shit out, basically.
How much different will it look like from October last year? Not different at all. The arena itself has not changed, aside from the fact that the walls have been replaced, and they'll need to be repainted. But from a layout perspective, it's no different. The foyer will change substantially, which is cool. So that's why I'm saying like the ability to play the arena will be fine. They just can't open because the foyer is not ready. Are they putting padding on the low concrete roof upstairs? No, just don't jump, dummies. If Scott can play in our arena, anyone can play in our arena.
That is factually valid, yes, because Scott is a very tall man.
There's like one or two others that have been, players since I've been playing that might challenge his height. But there's a good generalization that if he can play arena, then anyone can. Basil's going to knock himself out, calling it now. Well, that's his dumb fault.
I mean, to be fair, you only make the mistake of jumping in your guys upstairs once. It's a mistake you only make once.
I don't know if that's accurate. I think there might be some people, maybe one in chat, who's done it more than once. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Has it been a savior? I heard somebody drop something in the secret tunnel. The fuck? I don't know what that means. Yeah, so things are progressing, and it sucks for us because I'd love to get some practice in before Nats. It's just not really viable at the moment, which is a real shame, but it is what it is. Right, there is a tunnel. Tunnel's out of play, so it doesn't matter.
No matter how short you are.
Yeah. Suck it, Smalley. Nah. Retract that one. Yeah. Take that one back. Yeah. Sorry, Smalley. Public apology.
I was like, wait a minute. Nope.
Don't yell. It's just mean. Don't be mean to Smalley, even though Smalley loves to drop the controller button. Yeah, so things are progressing nicely. So we obviously no cause for alarm, just keeping you guys in the loop is all. I'm so excited. It's real close. We should do... Oh, no, we should. It's too much effort. I was going to say, we should put a counter up the top. But also, nah. I don't want to. I have to... Don't know... What? I have to... Don't know why just did G&D may have laughed. I think Tales of a Servant just hit his head on the upstairs maze, because that sentence you need to have another crack at that one, my friend.
Yeah, the first draft not so good.
Not so good, but that's okay. That's what proofreading's for.
Yeah, that's why you have editors, and you get it down to a second, third, and fourth draft before putting things out into the world.
Very quickly before we bring our guest in, have you had to play with any like AI shit? Like, out of curiosity?
I have not. No, I mean, obviously, I've seen, a bunch of articles out there about it, and I've seen, things that people have done with it. I mean, you showed me the press release.
I don't know if I shit on stream, but I got it to write a press release for Nats, and I put like three like a sentence, 3 lines, like one sentence or whatever, 2 sentences, and this thing gave me a full page press release, and almost all of it, like probably 95% of it, was awesome. This is crazy. You've been awake since 5:30 dealing with pups. Congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Yeah. I mean, what you put into the group chat with that, like that was a very viable like first draft.
Yeah, I was expecting to have to tweak it and like whatever, like use it as a base. But I was like, this is almost perfect as it is. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I was just curious to see if you had to play with it. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. I used I'll tell you that offline.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we want to go down this rabbit hole?
Well, it's nothing bad. I made a joke. So Blueson had a stream the other day and made a joke about like I think it was Havoc had put a photo in chat, and like it was like a stack of VHSs, and one of them was Face Off, but the way that the label looked, it said Travolta Face. And I was like, fuck, I love Travolta Face. It's one of my favorite movies. And then I used AI to like merge. It starts with Gibbo's face and then slowly merges to Travolta Face. And sent it to him, and he was like, oh my god, it's Travolta Face. Anyway, AI is crazy.
Be the death of us all.
Yeah,
Skynet is waiting.
Yeah. Be like, hey, dumb human, look at this Travolta Face. Blah! That's how it's gonna go down. Apologies for how I sound, by the way. I've been getting over a cold all week, hence why there was no streams this week. But it's not that much worse than what it normally is. Let me quickly switch across.
I was about to say I didn't notice anything different. So.
Oh, what? You sound weird. I don't think so. So we got a guest waiting in the wings. I'm gonna bring her over now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lucy. Oh, I timed that perfectly, just as you were drinking.
Yes.
It's almost
Hello,
like
everyone.
It's almost like you were a waiter in a past life or something. So.
Yeah, exactly. Coming just as you drink, you'd be like, "Hello."
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Lumia Stream. That's handy. That's a little handy thing. All my lights turned back on. Perfect. Lucy, how the heck are you? What's going on?
Still kind of tired because it's midnight. Oh, or after midnight here.
You just got telling us how you stay awake until the next day, and like you're an artist. So it's fun. No, I'll just.
Yes, but as we come down to the countdown nets, it's becoming harder and harder for me to finish the things that I need to finish before I leave. Because for everyone that doesn't know this yet, I'll be leaving Czech Republic for New Zealand for Nets, and then staying at New Zealand until like half of the September, and then going to Brisbane, where I will be staying for 2 years studying.
Amazing. That's really, really cool.
That is, that is genuinely fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
so...
and my school is 20 minutes from the maze.
So what do you... that's fucking awesome. So
20-minute walk or 20-minute drive or... What
20 minutes by public transport.
Sweet.
That is amazing.
There you go, Troy.
So good.
You go, Troy. So what... we'll get into... Obviously, you guys play tournament stuff. We'll get into that soon, but we might as well talk about you for a second. So what kind of prompted the move? Like, is there like an opportunity, or you're just like, I'm gonna go on an adventure?
Kind of both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've ended cooperating with my home site back in November
Mm-hmm.
because there were some issues, so we kind of split our cooperation. And since that, I fell into the world of Warhammer and miniature painting. And yes, I was like kind of searching for what I wanted to do, and then then my dad came into play, and he was like, "So, are you staying in New Zealand or Australia
Mm.
when you come there?" I was like, "Yes, for a short time," and he was like, "Wait, so you will go there, you will stay there for a month, and then you will return?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Well, that's not economically logical. Stay there."
That was your dad's like subtle way of being like,
Yes.
get the fuck out of my house. No, no.
No. I mean, if everything is if everything will come well, he will come to visit me for Christmas. So
Mm. Is he like,
Nice.
well, I mean, I would, if I was you, I would expect him to stay for 2 years because that's, staying there for just Christmas is not economically sound, okay? You make sure you tell him that. I'm sure he already knows.
well, if he wakes up, he will be in the chat, so you can tell him.
Perfect. Yeah. That's awesome, though. That's so exciting. So, have you got much? Dumb question, but have you got like much to sort out before you go? Um,
Yeah, I mean, like three main things remain now. One is to go and visit my grandparents before I leave.
yeah.
The second one is finish new T-shirt design for Prague Gladiators, which is like a laser tag group in Prague,
Yeah.
our friends. And the third is to paint a wall for Stardoms outside. So
Okay, cool. Like a big mural, right?
yes.
Have you've already started on that, or is that like something that is to come?
It's just in sketches, and I need to hand out the sketches to the owners of Stardoms so they can present it to the owner of the building. And once I finish school, which will be in 14 days,
Not that you're
I will
counting.
have yeah, and I will have like fully 3 weeks before I will be doing my level C1 English exams, and yeah, I plan to go there and like stay there for like 3 or 4 days to paint it.
Working.
Okay.
That's so
Awesome.
exciting, man. That it's so nice as well. Like, to have a parent be like, "Hey, go explore the world," because there's so many
Yeah.
people. I think, like, I was really lucky because my parents were like that as well. When I was, I think, I can't even remember how old I was in 2003 when we played Nats.
Young. You were
Yeah,
young.
I think like 2003 was the last year of high school for me. So I was like 17. So it must have been 16. 17. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Young.
Young. And they were like, I was like, hey, I've obviously been playing lasers and really enjoy it. I want to go play in Australia. And they were like, cool, go have fun, go see the world. So that's awesome that, to have someone kind of backing you like that. That's wicked.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was like, go and explore the world since I was like 3 years old. And back then I was like, wait, you're kicking me out of my home.
He was like, yes. Did you say 3?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So from
Yeah,
a very
he-
young age, you knew that that was like, oh, okay, well, so from a young age, you were being encouraged to explore the world.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's wicked.
I
That's
mean,
so cool.
he was like, pack your little backpack and go to the world.
And then child services were like, maybe wait 15 years, mate. So, when you, obviously, being so close to lasers, I would assume that you'll start playing there on the regular. I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Yes.
Wicked.
I'm counting with that.
That's awesome. I know they do, like, they're one of the most active sites, obviously, in terms of leagues and stuff. So it's such a good way to get really good at Space Marines.
Finally.
So Striker was out here recently, and we were sort of talking about it, and you know, and we've said on the podcast before, but basically, it takes a very certain kind of person to play Space Marines and experience that and want to stick around and get good at it. Usually people who don't pick the game up relatively quickly, they don't last. They're just, because why would you? And yeah, so like, yeah, it's a good way to experience it. So, and what's good is that you're already a laser tag player. So, yeah, it's gonna be wicked.
For 5 years now.
What a
That's
old guy!
awesome.
What an old guy!
Yeah.
Oh, I feel old again.
It's okay. You're not. But also just like from a just from kind of an overarching perspective as well, like how great is it that, you know, because of this community, like you have this jumping off point that, yes, like you were probably always gonna go and do a thing somewhere, somehow, somewhere, but now you can go and do a thing with people that, with a group of people that you already know, in quotes. I mean, for obviously internet friends are real friends, and you've kind of got this built-in support network, like once you move, of people that like already share your hobbies with you, so you're not having to start from scratch in a brand new country. Like that's just fucking awesome.
It's crazy to think about it, actually.
Well, what's really cool is that it's something that we've seen over and over again with our Space Marines community. Because I mean, so for example, Than moved halfway around the world, sort of for Laser Force. sorry, sort of because of Laser Force, not for Laser Force.
Accurate.
More accurate. Yeah. But yeah, like I would assume that having that support network of people was like almost essential for you guys when you moved to New Zealand, right? Like,
yeah, no, that was definitely like on a list of reasons for, moving to New Zealand, which for, those of you without your resupply bingo card at home, my ex-wife is from Australia, and so we moved to New Zealand because at the time it was long distance and that was a good midpoint, et cetera, so forth, so on. But one of the things that made that move so viable, on top of the fact that it was, I could get into the country, that helps. But knowing that there was immediately a community of people that, I knew and was already friends with and could lean on kind of in the initial to figure stuff out, was huge. It made that move so much easier than it would otherwise have been. So yeah, it's impossible to kind of overstate like how important and how great it is to already have a community of people that are gonna help with that type of thing when you're going to, a new, city, state, country, whatever. So yeah, it's helpful.
it's freaking sweet. It's freaking sweet. So yeah, luckily you've got people obviously here and in Brisbane to kind of help out and stuff. A lot of the people here will be willing to help, not just with lasers, but anything else too. There you go.
Oh, thank you, Troy.
You got pals. You got pals.
Yeah. Well, and that was 100% my experience moving to New Zealand. Like the lasers was kind of the least of what everybody helped with. Like there was a lot of like recommendations around like, oh, hey, these areas to live in, these areas not to live in. Oh, hey, these restaurants are great, maybe not these. Just like all that all that local knowledge that you usually end up getting School of Hard Knocks wise because you make some poor choices with things. Like you get to bypass a lot of that by having friends that are like, oh yeah, no, yeah, definitely you don't want to live in like this area for whatever reason. Just taking that as like the big obvious example.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of
exciting.
friends, today marks the 1 year anniversary since I first saw Smalley and Marcus. So
Oh, wicked.
yeah.
Oh, you poor thing. No, just jokes.
Or is it
Suck
or
it,
is it
Smalley.
them?
No.
Or is it
Come
Marcus
on.
and Smalley that's it's poor them.
Yeah. What is
Somebody's getting the raw end of the deal here. I'm just not sure who.
So speaking kind of those guys, and we'll get into kind of the crux of our topic today. So you guys had a thing recently. Do you wanna explain what the thing was?
Well, Říčany, the site near Prague, was hosting an SM5 tournament. And me and Marcus kind of like got together in chat and we were like, hey, why don't we go around the new mazes / the mazes we missed last time? And Morrigan along the way joined us and she was like, yes, I will go with you. So Marcus picked me up. We drove to the airport to pick Morrigan, and we messed up the arrival terminal because of me, but that's okay. We found her. And then went to the first site in Kladno, the Aurora. we love to say this word. Yeah, Aurora. And from there we went back to Prague and we were trying to get to the tourist maze. We call it like that because it's inside a toy store.
Cool.
And I was trying to tell both of them that they don't have Laser Force license. Like you can't get connected to the I Play Laser Force.
Yeah.
But they like didn't understand me somehow. I don't know why. So we were trying to get there, but they were full somehow. So we went to the Prague H maze. We decided to give them nicknames because the name is like hard to pronounce. Like I don't know if you can pronounce Holešovice well. So the H site. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So Steve did it. Me, I'm not even gonna because I will stutter over that and it will just get very awkward very quickly.
So yeah, we went to the H site, which has like two mazes, the big one and then the small one. And I don't know how, but we managed to play Shadows in the big maze in just 3 people.
Cool.
It was really funny.
Marco.
And
hello.
Yeah. And then we went to like a brutal team game with some other victims, I would say it like this, in the small maze, and we smash them.
Of course. So wait, you guys were level 1s the same as them?
No.
Wait, so you weren't level 1? So you still had the handicap?
We weren't. We no. Here it doesn't function like this. Here it's kind of crazy to say. Because when you play a standard game, if you log in, you are always like the level you log in. So I was 7, Marcus was 7 as well, I think. Morrigan was 5. And
fucking European
basically
sites messing with the settings?
No, but stay out of that topic, Marcus. I will get
Marcus would periodically send me a message, be like, ugh, this thing. But like, it's okay, man. It's all right. It's okay. Don't worry about
it. So because the Prague site mainly focus on like birthday parties or stag nights or generally public.
Yeah.
It's mostly like everyone is at one shot. Doesn't matter which level you are. So yeah. So we kind of smash the poor victims that were playing with us. And then we tried to get to the toy store maze, but no luck.
Can I
So
just?
we spent.
I don't mean to
Uh-huh.
cut you off, and I apologize for cutting you off. Can I just
It's okay.
interject? So, for any site owners out there that definitely don't watch this show, there's a reason why there's a handicap system in place, and like, so many times people are like, oh, we don't want regular members playing with the public because they just smash the shit out of them. Yeah, no shit. That's why there's a handicap system. Don't fuck with with the settings. It's there so that if you get good players come in, they can't just fucking smash the rest. Oh, it's so dumb. Anyway.
Or they can, but they have to work really hard to do it.
Yeah,
but,
and that's the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Dumb.
Anyway,
Or we just play level up instead. So
And yeah, well, exactly right. And then it kind of evens out per game. But like that's kind of the point, and it happens here where they don't adjust like the leveling system, or they don't push the membership system, or any of that, and then players just try and game this. It's really dumb. Anyway, that's all I want to
get off the soapbox, bro. Get off the soapbox. Let's put Lucy back on the soapbox.
Dummies.
You get off the soapbox.
So, Toy Story.
Lucy on the soapbox.
Story. Toy Story.
yeah. So when we were going out from the age side, we were trying to look at the toy side. Let's call it like this. And we were like, yes, we will kind of go there and play, even though I was telling them that they don't have the license. So we
Right.
tried to find a parking space, which was like impossible. So we spent like half an hour looking for a parking space, because the site is like located just in the middle of the old town, and it's hard to find a parking space somewhere.
Okay.
We somehow managed that because there's like a shopping center near. So we parked in there. We got out of the car, we walked there, and they were like, no, we're full. We just have like 2 spaces left at 6, which was the time we were supposed to be at the tournament side at
Right.
Resupply. So we were like, okay, but at least we got food, thanks to this.
Yes.
Yeah. So we went out for food, and then we drove to Resupply, and we had like a practice night, and yeah, it was kind of fun. I mean, the two girls that were playing with us, because there were like 4 of us who were like settled before that we will play together, and we needed 2 people to play with us to be like the full team, because it was team of 6v6.
Mhm.
And Thomas, the Resupply owner, hi Thomas, if you're watching, he was like, well, yes, I can offer you 2 girls from our young club, let's call it like this.
Right.
And I was like, did they ever play before? And he was like, yeah, a couple of games of SM5 before, but they really want to play. So I was like, well, it is what it is, so let's go. And we put 1 girl at the medic and the second at the scout, and I played ammo with her. And even though we had some like stumbles at starts, we kind of got through really great.
Mhm.
That's always a nice feeling when like when you have newer players that you're able to kind of work with and improve at the same time too. So yeah, that's
Definitely a positive.
Yeah. And it was sometimes hard to like figure out the multilingual thing, because that they were
Yeah.
Czech. I was Czech as well, but the 3 other members of the team were like English speakers. So Morrigan, and I'm really thankful for that. She was asking for some Czech words after the first game. She was like, how do you say there? And I was like, tam. And how do you say here? And I was like, tady. And every time someone was coming, she was like, tady, 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 inside the maze, which was amazing. Or she was like, how do you say no? And I was like, ne. So basically, anytime she came to us and I asked her if she needs to be resupplied, she was like, ne.
Daddy.
Yeah.
After a super short period of time with the right language for announcements, it was good for double resupply, etc. That's good. That's good. So how did you guys got on okay with like double resupplying and that sort of stuff? Like
Yeah, I mean, it took a couple of games, but
Fair.
we kind of made it. We nailed it. Sometimes it was hectical to like tell her not to shoot someone if they just wanted lives or just ammo, but we kind of make it.
right.
Made it.
Well,
So-
I mean, to be fair, I mean, resupply can get hectic no matter how many games of it you've
Yeah.
played. So, saying, oh, it was hectic, and this new person or this newer person to it, was listening and trying to do it. I mean, that's sometimes all that you can ask for. So, sounds like sounds like that portion of things didn't go badly.
So how did the other teams get on with like double resupplying and stuff? Is that something that is kind of like known as a practice over there, or did they kind of have to like learn it whilst you guys were playing that time, or?
I don't know actually because I don't spend too much at that site where we were playing. But here, if we talk about our last Stardom's tournament, yes, I'm looking at my medals because we came third.
Nice.
The top team, yes, they are like kind of used to the double tap.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were playing some games like after the tournament, at this tournament, not at the main tournament, but at this one, I was playing with some of the resupplies from the winning team, and yes, double tapping all the time.
Okay.
So some of the people know it, some of the people aren't familiar with that, but it's the thing of your choice. So
Do you know like how like who kind of taught them how to do it, or is it just something they figured out how to do?
I don't know. Maybe they were watching me.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they were searching the internet. I don't know.
yeah, maybe because like it's not something that is like it's common for us, but only because the OGs of the game, like whenever they'd go to a tournament, they would teach people how to do it, or at least people would see them doing it and be like, we fucking need to do that thing. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Sacramento, like way back in the day, it was discovered like on accident,
Right.
by actually one of DK's first league teams for Space 5, and because they discovered it on accident first, of course they didn't bother telling anybody else because it was a competitive advantage that they had, and so like that one thing actually carried their team to victory that season. And it was a team that like talent wise did not match up to most of the other teams in the league, but because they figured out how to take half the time resupplying that everybody else was, they were able to smash teams. So
Sacramento, much like Auckland, started with Space 4, right? That's kind of where you're and so I think most sites that started with SM4 and made the jump to SM5 didn't, why would you know about double tapping? Like, you don't have to worry about the ammo, and yeah, that's awesome though. So right, so you guys are playing. You've got some newer players. I know we've briefly mentioned it, but I think it's important that we talk about the rules differences, because obviously, why wouldn't we?
Well, you must keep Marcus like on how to say it. You watch the chat because Marcus will be furious if we talk about the rules.
Well, so Marcus is always angry. I've learned Marcus is an angry guy.
Accurate.
But I will preface this conversation, and whilst you're here, Marcus, I don't think you were here when I said it last week, but it's very rude to go to somebody else's house and tell them how bad they're doing at cooking a certain way. So if you go to someone who go to a site, and because obviously you're going to someone else's house, the way that we do things down here, and obviously our community, our Space Marines community, we feel that we do things the right way. We feel our way is the best way, and to somebody who doesn't share that same point of view, they would look at what we do and be like, "That's fucking stupid." We know that they're wrong, but you can't. It's bad. It's bad juju to go to somebody else's house and tell them how they should live their life. So just remember that when you're traveling.
Always buy travel insurance.
Always buy travel insurance, but also like make sure you're respectful to ownership. Always be respectful to ownership when you go to somebody else's site, because they're letting you play there. they granted you're paying them money, but this is just nice. It's nice to have respect. Anyway, so with that said, let's talk about the
with
rules.
all that as a setup to this.
So obviously some of the rules were different.
Let's start. There were almost no rules.
There was almost no rules. All right. Well, Marcus has dropped in chat.
Because
You go. You hold it.
yeah, I mean the only rule or no rule was that chasing is allowed, and you are supposed to not like body block anyone, even your own team. So those were the only two things I remember.
Not body block your own team. Why would you get penalized?
Like
Oh,
if you
like
stand
if someone's trying
in
to
front
shoot
of
them.
your medic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got rules about that kind of thing as well. But we'll get into it. So Marcus has put the settings: 12-minute games, 5-second downtime. Set up as a 3-team version with 2 teams playing. Wait, what?
So basically what they're doing is they're using 3-team SM5 so that the
Yes.
nukes are less powerful but cost more.
Right.
So it's 25 specials for a nuke, but instead of it taking 3 lives per nuke, it only takes 2 lives per. Their downtime was set at 5 seconds with a 4-in-1 split, so 4 seconds safe, 1 second reset.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then 8 bases in the maze at 501 points, but worth 3 specials each.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was crazy. It was crazy with the 8 bases.
So, my first question on this, because obviously resets are off. You guys don't play with resets, right? What's to stop a heavy from just following the opposition's medic around and just shooting them as soon as they come up?
Basically nothing. That was the thing. I mean,
Because as the medic, you can't hide behind another player to
Yes.
get away from it. But there's nothing there to
Yes.
protect them from just getting hunted down and.
what we did was that I was the most noisiest player in the maze, in the whole maze. Because when something fucked up, sorry for being like for saying it straight, but when something fucked up, I was the only one who screamed their lungs out. That hey, like white base under attack, we need help,
Mhm.
and everyone knew about it. And just a little shortcut. I wasn't able to speak for 4 days after that.
Tournaments will do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, basically anytime something happened, I just called for help because Marcos and Shigeros were the 3 hits.
Mhm.
So they came up and helped us. And our scouts were like cruising around the maze, and me and my medic were like together all the time.
Mm.
So I was like shooting her so she will be down and not lose life. So
Right. Okay. So that's the only way that you potentially can avoid the heavy from smashing your medic, right? Is to keep them constantly resupplied with
Yeah.
ammo. Okay. Problematic, but okay.
I'm just looking at the, okay, 5 second downtime, 4 second save, 1 second reset with unlimited chasing. So,
Yeah.
so, so the unlimited chasing with a reset there, like that's basically how Sacramento started playing way back in the day. Like
Right.
the original chasing rule in Sacramento was actually really dumb in that the only person that couldn't follow a player was the last person to shoot them, which makes no sense because that's literally the only person that can't actually shoot that player again until they hit something else. Be that as it may. Um, so having unlimited chasing with a reset period, and then there being 8 bases, so there's probably always somewhere you can catch a reset weirdly. I mean, it just sounds like there would always be something close that you could hit off of. Just it sounds like the worst of both possible worlds
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
as far as that piece goes.
Yeah.
And I understand from something that I think it was Thomas that had put on a Facebook post that like this tournament was kind of the experiment with the first time of having a reset period, because as you said, Lucy, you guys don't normally have reset time. So
just in laser ball, because laser ball is becoming more and more popular here.
Awesome.
And it's not
Nice.
not my cup of lasers actually.
It's what I like about it is it's a good competitive game. It's I think one of the better games to actually incorporate proper teamwork that's not Space 5. And that's where where it wins over the other other kind of game settings. Just also want to make sure to say to anyone from any of the Czech sites that might end up watching this, this is not we don't want to turn this into a let's shit on the Czech Republic laser tag players, because that's not our intention at all. We think that it's awesome that you guys are starting to branch out into maybe competitive Space Marines. Just understand that there are several sites that have come before to play this game and sort of learn the game and learn the ways to play it. We feel that we've got to a point where we're playing it in the best format that we can. So, whilst it may seem a little backwards, the game kind of works. The balance between the resets and the chasing rules and all that sort of stuff, it kind of works. So that nobody is getting exploited.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a process of evolution, and the game evolves differently in different locations for a variety of reasons. So, it's just the perspective that we're coming from on the show is, I've been playing since 97. Steve, you've been playing since what, 2002-ish, 2001, 2002, 2003. So we're coming at this from 20 plus years each of watching the game evolve at our own sites and kind of going through some of these growing pains as well. So yeah, I think that is an important thing to say, because I know me personally, when I'm saying these things, I know that I can often come off as a complete asshole about a lot of this stuff. But just the fact that they were willing to try a thing with having some reset time when that's not normally a way that they've been playing this game, I mean, that's cool. You see now, though, like if you have that with unlimited chasing, it's not necessarily a good play combination. It's not necessarily a fun gameplay combination.
So what was the kind of like local sentiment? Like, how did you guys, how do you feel that the tournament like was received by the players? Like, not
The
including
sad
Marcus,
thing
obviously.
was, the sad thing was that no other team, like from the other sides, if even Czech or even like German came, because at the day there was the last round of the Pilsen League back in Pilsen,
Mm,
and basically thanks to that no other team came to play, and I'm kind of like disappointed from that
mm,
because it was like the last round. Basically pretty much everything was like settled down and nothing could have changed,
mm,
and one team was supposed to go but they like quit it at the very last second
right.
because they didn't have enough cars to go. And
Oops.
yeah, I'm kind of sad because of that, because there was 5 teams and one of us, like my team, our team, was like just the how to say it, the other maze team,
Hmm.
because all of the 4 teams were locals.
Right. Fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, but it's kind of sad.
Sort of. So, yeah, it can be, because obviously, the more people you get playing, potentially the better it is, right? Um, Space Five, especially Space Five, in the format that we play it, um, is a long game, um, and it can be a long game because usually you end up playing a match which has the 2 games in it, and like if there's no elims, then yeah, it can kind of last for a while. Especially if the site is like trying to actively avoid having eliminations, which just extends stuff out even further. Um, what? Who had the dates first? Like, was there a way that maybe one of the two, like the league, could have got postponed, or the space tournament could have got postponed, or
From what I've heard, Thomas was asking all of us, or he was asking us on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
that if we want to like do it at this date, and he told us that everyone told him yes.
Mm.
And
Okay,
yes, I forgot that we have the last round of league, because if I have to choose between the Pilsen League and this, definitely SM5.
right, of course, because you're smart. No,
Uh,
Valid choice. Very
okay.
valid choice.
but
And
okay. Oh,
uh,
sorry. Yep, keep going.
and because I knew that there's a possibility of like other international players come here and play,
Hmm.
so that's why I like was going straight for the Space Marines.
Right. It is a shame. I can see why people wouldn't want to, like if you're working towards a local league, and sure, the standings might have not changed, but even still, like if you're playing a local league and it's the last week of the league, I can understand why people would want to do that one and not the Space Marines tournament, because they're more invested in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but maybe that's a lesson for next time for scheduling. Maybe, like, I don't know.
I mean, this season was kind of strange in many ways. The first one being me like mm, quitting the cooperation with my side.
Hmm.
The second one was like the league was handled by different people, and this happened just like few days before the league was supposed to start,
Mm,
which was kind of strange. And the owners of the site usually throws out the dates like in the summer, because our season starts in September,
hmm.
and basically like during the summer you are able to know the dates and like write them down to calendar. And mm, this season nothing of that happened, and we just know the dates like at the very end of August/beginning of September, so it
Right.
was hectic. The second thing is that I learned the origin of not having resets here in Czech Republic.
Mm.
Okay.
Um, it's because we will be celebrating 10 years next month of having laser force here in Czech Republic,
Which is
and
awesome.
Mm.
yeah, and the Pilsen site is the first one. So happy birthday, Pilsen site, earlier. So 10 years, and back then the the one person who came out and like tested laser force for the first time before like bringing it to here, he decided that no, we will not play with resets, and basically everyone kept that. So that's why we don't play with resets. And because of that, the play style changed. And basically, here we play like if you come towards someone who's down, sometimes some players keep shooting straight to them and just waiting for them to respawn. Or, there's a reflex that you meet someone who's down and you like preventively shoot them. And if they're dead, you continue your way and leave them be. But yeah, these are not these are. Imagine that with the resets. That would be like unplayable here.
I don't. I think I didn't quite understand.
You got
So
lost. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because
Once again.
that's exactly how we played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Thing. You go.
Yeah.
Well, gonna say actually more along the lines of it's amazing how kind of random decisions at the beginning of a thing impact, have flow on impacts down in the line. Now you can you can make an argument, and a pretty good one actually, for in a general public scenario, having reset time turned off for level 1 players.
Mm-hmm.
There is an argument that you can make for it. um like if you in like specifically a birthday party game,
Mm.
Yeah.
If it's pretty much all younger kids playing, and it's birthday parties, you might turn off the resets, specifically to avoid having an experienced player being able to, um, you know basically make their game no fun.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm quite willing to have that discussion. It would even make sense at certain sites that, like, between this hour and this hour, when we know it's birthday parties, we're going to play with no resets on level ones because it's all birthday parties. Cool. um I just it taking away, like, literally the one of the things that makes Laser Force as a system so mechanically different than every other system out there. um like that to me has never made sense, in a wider area. Like, it forces you to move more. It forces it does force a different play style. Whether that play style is better or worse, I mean, that's obviously also a more in-depth discussion. um but yeah, it's weird. It's like, yeah, you guys had this one setting tweak at the beginning, and now here we are 10 years later, and you guys don't play with
Yeah.
resets.
Yeah.
Well, so so you guys in chat have said about how, like, there's no resets in public games, and there shouldn't be resets in public games. Just you should have it for tournaments and stuff. So the beautiful thing about Laser Force inbuilt progression into their game, And progression is one of the things that makes Laser Force so good. So as you progress, on through their level system as a player, as you get better, as you like at level 1, all you need to worry about is, can I shoot somebody with my gun? That's all you have to worry about. As you become a better player, you learn how to do more than just, can I point and shoot my gun. And that's what the leveling system is all about. So as you level up, it means that people that are on your same level, who should be learning at the same rate as you, are able to do the same things as you. And what that does is that teaches you how to move into more advanced game formats, so that when you get to tournament level play for Space Marines, you know what a reset is and how to do it. And whilst, yes, you should turn it off, absolutely, like, level restrict resets. Like, so, if you have a level 5 or a level 6 in a maze, they can't just sit there and just reset off a group of level 1s over and over again and make their afternoon real shit, so they never come back. But taking that ability away altogether removes a good chunk of, like you said, Dan, it's one of the major things, what makes Laser Force Laser Force. It's a real shame. It's a real shame. But anyway.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
also this is the reason why not so many people want to play Vedlock,
Why? Because there's no
because of the
resets?
reset. Yeah, there are basically like resets. We call that like being able to shoot the dead before they respawn. We
Yeah.
call it like this.
So that's a reset. When we refer to
Yeah.
resets, that's what we're talking about, rather than the power
Yeah.
up ability. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and basically because of this, no one wants to play the Vedlock because you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
And people are mad because they keep dying and dying and dying and dying.
And this is the point. So if you don't
I know.
build that into your progression system, then of course people don't want to play with it. People don't want to play. They're not used to it. They're at a point where they're like, oh yeah, cool, I'm good. I just have to worry about shooting other people. But yeah, it doesn't teach you other skills. Like Troy said, learn to run away. learn to tactically position yourself in the arena where you can't keep getting shot. And that's why, again, the progression system works, but also the rule set works. That, when you play with a no chasing rule, the one that we play with, or a variation of it, it covers up the fact that you can't just run around and keep killing somebody and chase them out of until they die. But yeah, it's limiting. But I mean, we're preaching to the choir at this point. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's why like we don't have resets, and basically the reason that not having resets and like kind of run around the maze and just shoot people, that's what like made me to choose SM5 over like our normal tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to think more, you have to have some tactics, and when we play the league or individual tournaments, everyone is always on level 1 with just like the rapid fire, and it's basically who scores first wins. So
It's it just it's a very one-dimensional game where all it is point and shoot. When you don't have to think about other stuff. I mean, we can harp on this all day. We don't have to think about other stuff.
We have harped on this all day. We have multiple previous episodes where we have harped on this for like for like 90 minutes of just harping on this. So yeah. No, we have definitely.
But I mean, I don't want to like shame nobody,
of course not,
because of playing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I stopped liking this kind of a thing, because it's just like run and shoot, and yeah, nothing else.
So again, we like you said, we're not shitting on anyone. We're not like naming and shaming anyone. And when you go to like if I was to come and play in the Czech Republic, Of course, I would have my feelings about the rules and the way the game is set up, but I'm not gonna go and like cuss out anyone or like give the ownership shit and say you guys are doing it all wrong or nothing like that, because that's like you said, it's been in place for 10 years.
Yeah.
So to do something out of the norm that has been the norm for a decade is a tough challenge, and the only way that changes is when you have an instance like in 2010 we played. I would say that was the last time we played by the US rule set as a international Space Marines community.
Correct.
Because we played it the US way, and then we played a couple of games that week with the international rule set, and those games flowed better. They were way more fun to play. They were just but not everyone felt the same way, and that's why we lost a portion of the players, because they just couldn't change, and that's okay. I mean, that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Oh, give her, mate. Ahoy! Let's.
But give up.
32 bloody months. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you.
Ahoy, Blue.
And yeah, the whole evolution of playing styles and rule sets. I mean, that is a thing. That is a challenge. Like, again, I'm gonna go back to Sacramento back in the day with our start rules wise. Again, very similar to kind of how the Czech Republic currently plays. I mean, we still have the resets on, but like there was no rules against not having a shoulder out. There was no rules against chasing, really. It was a thing. Like our changeover to let's consider the international rule set now, where you have to show a shoulder and the chasing rule and all that. Like, I went to Newcastle in Newcastle, Australia in '99 to play Nats. I mean, there were some other reasons, but that was the main reason for that trip. And brought and basically got my ass handed to me very badly in Masters, and got exposed to Space 5. Didn't stick around for the Space 5 because I didn't actually know what the timing of that was when I booked that trip. But came back to Sacramento and was like, oh my god, like these are the rules that these guys play by, and it makes so much more sense. From that point in '99, it was like a 2 to 2.5 year process to get the rules kind of embedded into Sacramento, because there was a lot there were a lot of people that were like, no, we don't want to change, no, we don't want to do this, that, the other. So yeah, it is a process to change an entire playing culture. And on it, like if the playing culture, the players decide, no, we're just not going to give that a chance. Okay, I mean, that's
all you can do is move to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So let's pivot away from like the rule set and stuff. How did you personally like the tournament? Like, how did you felt you guys played? What, because this isn't your first Space Marines tournament, right? You played one other, or is this the first one?
Not just only one. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
fifth. This was my fifth one, actually.
Wow.
Okay, so if you see this is from Space Marine, this is from Space Marine, this is from Space Marines, and up there, there's a trophy, and that flag is from Smalley.
I just assumed that was another curtain, because there's so many.
No. That's the flag I received.
Not
from
that. I know
Smalley
what that
last
is.
year. Okay, so it was my 5th time playing like Space Marine tournament here. 2nd time playing at the Zichany site. And it changed from last year. Last year at the same site, we've had like, I think there was like 3 German teams, and I don't know how many else, like 4 or 5 like Czech teams. So it was more international last time. And we came third last time. Marcus and Smolly came second, and the 101. výsadková, which I would translate like 101st something.
Battalion?
Could be, yeah, could be. This is like the best Czech team in almost like any lasers tournament, because they won the Pilsen League for the second time. They win basically all the tournaments that are happening, like in DOMS or at Pilsen, or some of the players are just the top players from the Czech Republic. So yes, we know why they won.
Cheaters.
But yeah, no.
Doping.
They know what they are doing. They play. So I think it was very different this time because of not having like the competition from the others, and for not having the variety of players, I would say, the different play styles, and just having the Ricciani play style basically all around again. So
right on. But so from your point of view, was this tournament like quite a bit different than the last ones?
Yeah, it was, because I've had Marcus and Morrigan on my team. So I've had the taste of international play in my team before like playing nets, which was awesome.
Yeah.
That is helpful, yep.
Yeah, and especially that Marcus will probably play with my team / the team where I am now, with Owl and others.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically every time he was like, Lucy, I was like, yeah, here. So he just showed his phaser and like, boom, thank you.
Huge. That's
huge difference.
Yeah. It's such a good thing to have with your teammates. That kind of, unless your medic is like, shoot me. So
fuck off.
So the difference was with the resets, with having the kind of resets thing.
Yeah.
And like me being in the international team and having to switch the languages, that was like really difficult.
That's such an awesome thing. Like I noticed that when I was in Colorado, and Marcus and
Andreas
were there, and so they would speak German, and then just to each other, and then relay stuff back to English, or however it kind of worked. It must be such a different, like another element when you're dealing with, like, in your instance where you have 2 Czech players that don't speak any English.
I mean, they were, but they were like too shy to speak English. So
yeah, right.
I communicated with them in Czech, and even though we were resupplying, we started to doing that like 1-2 1-2, but then we switched to the Czech. So in Czech it's like raz dva, and Morrigan was like, yeah, stay like with the Czech one. It's more powerful.
Daddy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, Marcus, but Ducky speaks German on from Melbourne, so you'll have a German speaker in your team for Nats. So I was gonna ask something else about. Oh yeah, was there any like anything that sort of stood out from you from like a highlight perspective from this tournament?
That we got together as a team, even though we like haven't played before as this team. That was like awesome. I mean, Shigeru's, he's from Prague, from the Gladiators group, but he's like English speaker. He just played, I think Marcus mentioned it in the chat, like 10 10 games of SM5 before,
Right.
Okay.
and he was put into the heavy role, and he was smashing it.
Awesome.
That was like awesome. Yeah, Marcus as a commander, that's a must. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Then
mean he's
uh-huh.
okay. He's decent. It's all right.
If you compare it with the others at like that side or general Czech Republic players, it's something different. Trust me.
Mm.
And our scouts, yes, they were rolling. They were doing a really great job as well. Thank you, Morrigan, for playing scout. And then us as the resupply, yeah, it was kind of hard. Like I said, and in the beginning, it was kind of hard to synchronize,
Mm.
but in the end, we made it. So
Yeah, that's wicked.
That is always a really nice feeling when you do have a group of people who have never played together before, and and you are able to just kind of gel and make it work, and it's not a clusterfuck when you're playing. It's like you're like, oh no, we're actually flowing pretty decently here. We're all kind of on the same page. You know, maybe it takes a little bit to get there because you know it takes a few games to embed in. But no, that's really cool
Mm.
that you know
uh,
everybody did end up flowing
yeah.
together with that.
And I think, if I remember that correctly, that we were starting the tournament playing against the strongest team,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we won by 500 points. It was either us winning by 500 points or them winning by 500 points.
That's so close.
But nobody got eliminated, as far as I remember. And every time we were playing with like the strongest team, it slipped away from us. Oh, it was the strongest team. I mean, there were like three strong teams, us and the kids team, basically. And yeah, we got ties, kind of ties, or tied with like the third team or something like that,
Mm.
or they won by a couple of points, or we won by a couple of points. So the games were like really close.
That's awesome. Were there many eliminations? Like, or any eliminations?
We got eliminated as a whole team 2 or 3 times, I guess. And our medic got eliminated maybe like 2 times, like in the other games,
Right.
and rest of the team survived. So
Right. That's wicked. So, how many days was that? I forgot to. I don't think I ever.
just
checked.
one day, just one day.
Oh wow. So how many
Yeah.
hours did you guys play for?
We were starting at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9-ish
Ish.
a.m. Yeah, ish.
Emphasis on the ish because laser tag.
Sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we were finishing at 5:30, something like that.
Oh wow.
So then I like catch the train back to Pilsen, and actually I was playing the very last round of the Pilsen League,
Oh.
the last game. So yeah, and when I got back to the maze, everything was slow for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but everything was really slow, and I was like, why is this so slow?
So that is one of those things that when you go from tournament speed games to not tournament speed games, it is noticeable the speed of thought difference.
Mm.
Like non-tournament games, even if they're league, they're the pressure isn't necessarily as intense in that moment generally. I mean, obviously I know that some league games are pressure cookers for sure, but yeah, being able to have that like literally in the same day of tournament speed to a game that, as you said, probably didn't mean much because you said that the standings couldn't change for the league game.
But I mean, people were playing their best. No,
Oh, of course,
no,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
exceptions.
It's
so-
just a different,
It's just different.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though I like played, let's say 15 games in that day, I just jumped straight back into the maze back in Pilsen, and I was the fastest player in there. Like constantly thinking, why is everything so slow right
Mm.
now?
Adrenaline's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Even after spending 2 hours in a train, so
I'm banking on it for July actually. Just a big old heap of adrenaline. So that'll
For
carry me
like
through.
4 straight days.
Oh yeah, at least.
Your heart's gonna explode, bro.
Yeah, go out on a high note.
Valid.
um, so obviously you're coming to hang out with us in July. Have you guys sort of been talking as a team? Like, have you been getting to know like the other guys that you'd be playing with, or?
yeah, we got group chat, and I wrote the longest introduction of them all,
Yeah.
with like links to the previous podcast episodes if they want to know more.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah,
Reference.
watch the resupply episode number 111
Yeah.
and the not number I don't remember.
But that's impressive. You got the first one. Yeah, that's pretty cool because I think like so for me, some of my favorite people in the laser force, like I love this community, like as a whole, love it. I wouldn't be here for 20 years if I didn't. This by the way is my 20th year playing competitive laser force. This will be my 20th 20th year.
So the
Rookie.
golden handshake achievement.
No, I've been a member longer. So I've already
Okay,
got
but
that one.
if we had like achievements for the competitive scene,
Yeah,
you would
that
receive
would
the golden
I'd get
handshake.
the golden handshake. Or
The Golden Walker.
in the actually, I'm not gonna make that joke. So but the Melbourne guys are some of the best people and some of the best people to play on a team with, at least in recent years. As they've mellowed out quite considerably due to old age. But they're pretty fantastic. So I think you'll get along really well. And because they've been playing for so long, like if you've got questions around like anything, they'll be able to bring you through, and help you on your
I
journey.
just hope I won't disappoint them because I know that I will get my ass kicked. I know that. And because of not knowing the rules, so it will be kind of hard for the first few games to catch
Of
up
course.
with the rules. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Luckily,
so
sorry, you go then.
yeah. So the really nice thing as far as that goes is that, I mean, as long as people know that you are making a good faith effort to do the thing, people are really forgiving. Like
Most people.
Okay, most people. In general, everybody that is going to be in Auckland playing in this tournament is very forgiving if it's very clear that like you're making the good faith effort to do the thing. Like nobody expects perfection out of any of us, because any one of us that says, oh no, we always play perfectly all the time is fucking lying. Like it's just no, nobody plays perfectly all the time, no matter what Rusty tries to claim. So yeah, as long as you're making the effort, people are going to be fine. And I'll second what Steve-O said about the Oakley boys. Like there is such a depth of knowledge there that they are so more than happy to share and get you more information for your Space 5 journey, as it were. Yeah, I think it literally probably is the best possible team that you could be playing for from that aspect.
Papa Al has such a like calming. I could listen to him all day, just read me stories.
I would say he's like ranking like my favorite people in the community. I mean, it's difficult, like you said, Steve. Like if I didn't like the community for as much as I hate people, I wouldn't still be here. But I gotta think Al is definitely in my top 3 as far as favorite people within the community.
It's crazy because I'm like
he's amazing,
like 18th or 19th, I think. Maybe not even that high on a good day.
You're somewhere in the top 25. It's fine.
Yeah. So what Troy just said, I think the Auckland Arena is a bit more forgiving for our rules than something like Brisbane. I 100% agree with you, Troy.
Yep.
Auckland, because our arena, again, I don't know why I keep saying it, but we talked about this on the pod, but because Auckland Arena is so linear, everything is just in front of you. You don't have to worry about getting shot from like above or from like, next door or like, yeah, from a different zip code or whatever.
There are
from
some
the
shots
other
like that
side
in
of the world.
That there are some shots like that in.
And you're just
in
like,
Brisbane,
where the
Lucy.
fuck did
When
that
you-
come from?
When you go to Brisbane for the first time, Lucy, you will understand exactly what all of us have said about that. You can just get
Okay.
shot from ridiculous places at times, and shot and stop and be like, where in the wait, what?
Yeah, and if you
So,
stand there
yeah.
doing this, like I have on many occasions, you'll get shot again. So,
Correct.
yeah.
I mean, I'm no stranger to this because this keep happening here as well in like multiple sites,
Yeah.
especially if you don't know them.
Stand there, get missile. Upper floor and shot when coming around the corner. I remember my penalty from you there. I don't recall, but I definitely penalized Marcus. Suck it,
Ooh,
Marcus.
speaking about the missiles, actually, one story from the
Yeah.
trip
Sure.
came to my mind. At the Aurora, at the H side, and then at the Riccione, they have like a smaller arena. They started building like a new maze, like downstairs under the original, and it's like in a testing state right now. So we went to play there just to get our another side on
Yeah.
the achievement list.
Of course, yes, makes sense.
We played Shadows, or just Rocket Master, which is like Shadows but with light and just the missile mode. And every time, or most of the time, I met up with Morrigan somewhere, we instantly like missiled each other at one time, all of the weekend.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Yeah.
One of
And as
my.
Marcus said, yeah, kitchen sink in that Aurora site.
That's so
the-
weird.
Yeah. How to explain it to? I kind of call it like a construction site maze because it's not finished yet.
Right.
Right.
It's playable, but it's not finished yet. They have like works to do. But yeah, when you go like to the red base, there's literally a place when the kitchen used to be, and there's a kitchen sink inside the maze. And to be honest, our like word for hey, everything is fucked now, I really need help, was kitchen sink. and the base.
I think Melbourne had a toilet. Did you guys have a toilet in Sacramento?
I mean, not inside the maze.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
what I'm
obviously
asking.
we had one in the facility, but
No, I'm pretty sure. I think it was Melbourne. Somebody had a toilet inside the arena. There's straight up a toilet in there, but not one that you could use. But yeah, maybe I'm remembering that wrong. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Oh, full kitchen. So did you try the taps?
When I was there for the first time, yes, but nothing came out.
That's probably a good thing.
Also, when I was there for the first time, which was in January, when we were doing the okay,
I mean, he's
when
not
we were
wrong.
doing when we were doing the empty tour, which is the group where we do the crazy things like we did back in January, which was the hunt for Friday the 13th achievement, and we wanted to go at all of the Czech Laser Force side in one day, but due to an accident of one of the cars, we were forced to like leave one out.
Right.
So we almost made it. But when we went to Aurora, yeah, the name.
I love it.
All
All right.
I
It's a
wanted
hard word to say.
Yeah,
That's,
Yeah.
All right.
I wanted to hide under the kitchen sink and fire my nuke from there. But when I got there, other player was already under the sink hidden, and I was like, "Wait, I wanted to use that."
Plumber! Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
It's like Aiden hiding behind the rocket,
rocket.
in the Brisbane maze, and then
Yeah.
somebody else trying to go there and him already being there. It's like,
Nope.
this is my spot.
To answer your question from earlier, Marcus, were you allowed to hide in there? So the toilet didn't have like walls; it was just a toilet in the arena to just sit there.
yeah, like our kitchen sink.
Yeah. um, well, I'm very stoked that like, because in some circles the mere mention of Space Marines 5 will immediately turn people off. They say no, thank you, no interested.
Yeah.
So the fact that there was a tournament played in the Czech Republic, potentially that's the first little splinter, right? In the hard armor that is the
Yeah.
Resistance Black Space Marines.
But there's the thing that this might have been the last one for like next 2 or 3 years
Maybe.
because people don't want to play them, and like the site owners don't see any motivation in doing those because, like I said, here there was 4 teams locals and just us as like the other team.
Yeah.
Back at Stardoms, which happened in February, I think February or March, there were just 4 teams,
Right.
and they were like hardly put together,
Mm.
and it's sad.
Well, so you know, from a wider community perspective, yeah, it is definitely sad that SM5 may just not break through as a game in the Czech Republic. Like that sucks. Having said that, like, it is still really fucking cool that there are leagues going at sites. There are other games being used for tournaments at sites. Like the fact that the sites do have player bases that are playing that are playing leagues and tournaments is very cool and and a positive thing. The fact that we selfishly do want more Space Marines 5 in more places so we can do bigger international tournaments notwithstanding, yeah, let's go on the silver lining of there is competitive tag being played, even if it's not the competitive tag that we would prefer. Diablo makes a comment in chat that he thinks SM4 would be better there for now. That was actually a suggestion that I made replying to Thomas on
Fire County. This is Jeff.
Facebook.
That based on where they are, yeah, maybe that's where you start. You start with Space Marines 4 with 4-person teams with the resets time at the standard 8-second downtime, 4-second save, 4-second reset, and start at least having that be an option because it meshes in with the idea of they don't want people getting killed out of games. Okay, I understand that if people are paying per game, I don't know if that's how it's happening. Like I understand wanting to make sure people are in the games for as long as possible. And if Space 4 becomes a thing that helps kind of move that along, cool. If they try Space 4 and they decide, no, we don't like this, we're gonna stick with Laser Ball and our other games where we're turning resets off, but they're still maintaining a competitive player base within their own country, honestly, that's fine also. Like the at the end of the day, we want Laser 4 sites to succeed. We want them to stay open. We want there to be competitive play regardless of what it is, even though we obviously have our biases. So let's I'm going to try and stay on the silver lining of things as far as sites being open and competitive play being had.
I would say that there are like two parties. The one is the serious one, like the serious tournaments, like the Pilsen League or Stardom's League, or there will be also international tournament happening in autumn, in September, in the Mercuria sites, like where we were at the big one and then at the other one, because they have two big ones right now. So the Mercuria B and the Mercuria H.
Mm.
Okay.
And this is basically like an open invite to any European players who wants to come and try like our format of the competitive laser tag. So the teams, and this is the serious party, and then there's like the not serious party, the trying to have fun from the games. That's the anti community, where we do the series of hour-long tournaments, which was crazy, but it was funny.
Mm.
We basically went on five, I think that was 5 games, 5 hour-long games at different
Oof.
sites. Yeah, you have to think about how you spend your time. Bases were
Sleeping
off for like
under a
bases.
sink.
Yeah. Once a player grabbed base, they were off for like 3 minutes, and every time there were just four or three of them, so not 8 at each other. And yes, this was crazy, but I really like that. And each one of us received a medal. It's wooden medal.
Mhm. The best
Yes.
form of metal is wood.
Yeah. So the hour-long tournaments as a series, or just the hour-long tournaments like the Saint Wenceslav tournaments, which is like a mixed doubles played at one time,
Mm.
and there were like 15 of mixed doubles at one time for an hour. Or we
Crazy
have
kids.
multiple tournaments with like a relay. We call it relay, where we lock one battle suit and pass it with each other for
Mhm.
like 4 hours. That was crazy as well, but it was funny. Or we have the gladiator relay. You basically log in and try to do your best over 2 hours. So basically, one
Okay.
player got when player gets eliminated, another player steps in, and you go in a queue. And once your time again, you can go inside and you have another try basically.
So you're
It's crazy, but I really
that's an
like that, and
awesome game mode.
and I actually won the ladies category last time.
No, that's wicked.
Nice.
I that to me that's such a cool idea to have, because then you're just doing 1v1s. It's kind of like do you ever play Foursquare? Did you guys have Foursquare growing
Yeah.
up? Yeah.
No.
Yes.
So Foursquare, like, just Google it, but basically, like, that's
Okay.
like having a king, and whoever gets to be the king, then you have to go and try and dethrone the king. That's fucking rad.
Yeah, so that's empty community. I will translate that. The acronym stands for Magor's Tour. Magor meaning like a nuthead, which that's what that's what it means. Yeah. So crazy people doing crazy things.
That kind of describes our entire fucking community, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
What a bunch of
No,
muggle.
that's our community.
That's your team name? Magor?
No, that's our community.
That's your community. All right, Gibbo is going to
Yeah.
take that for his team name. Well, that's freaking sweet. At some point, and I've wanted this to happen for a long time, but to one day play space marines tournament in Europe. That's a goal at some point, to be able to take a couple of teams made up from either like Australasia, most likely. That's the first is if I could take a team from New Zealand. That's unlikely to happen. The next is Australasia, more likely to happen, but still not great chances, and then after that it's do we get like 12 people that we can take from the international Space Marines tournament scene to go and do a competition or like a couple of week long tour or something, however it looks, in Europe, playing events in different countries. That would be really, really cool. SM5 Uber tournament, like you play, you hire a bunch of Ubers and then play that way. Magic Bus Tour, exactly right.
That's brilliant idea, Steve.
When I win, one of those big fuck off Powerball jackpots, I'll bankroll that.
Drive-by shooting tag. There's so many like Space Marine. There's so many Laser Force sites based in FECs that have go-karts, and I've wanted to like do, you have a driver and then you have a gunner. And you
Of course you do.
That would be
of course you do.
Amazing. The other one on that list was doing a laser tag tournament on ice, but you guys already did that, so
It wasn't a tournament, but yeah.
yeah. Oh, you got to play a game on ice, and I'll settle for a game on ice. That'd be fucking amazing.
I think my ankles and knees say no to that particular idea. So you have fun with that.
Yeah,
There's a lot of things I will follow you into, bro. That's not one of
but
them.
not ice. Laser tag in a ball pit. Oh my god, that's a good idea. That'd be friggin' sweet. Every maid should have a ball pit or several ball pits. Oh, that'd be fucking awesome.
I mean, back at the old Mercuria H site, because they were moving to the new one because the building is going to be demolished for like 2 years now. They used to have like boxing bags inside.
Wicked. So you run, you'd like, as like you'd run through them, right? They would like swing there.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. Just on the ball pit thing, I had this like vision of me playing Resupply and getting flushed and then having to like out of the ball pit. Yeah, no, that happens to me getting off the couch, but whatever. Yeah. The things we could do. Crazy laser tag places. Look. Oh, yeah.
Write them down. We can do it.
Write it down.
once I come to New Zealand, we can do it.
What's the reason why buried? They're in there somewhere. Flush him out. Well, thank you very much, Lucy, for coming on the pod today and having a yarn about the tournament. Hopefully we didn't go too far into the negative, because it's, for us as snobby purists, it's an easy thing for us to do, and so I think most of us try not to go too far down that rabbit hole, because it's so unnecessary. Like, we know how we feel about things, and it's not nice to shit on other things unnecessarily. So but thank you for coming on the pod today. I'm real excited about seeing you in a mere few weeks, a bit.
My pleasure, and thanks again as well. And actually, one thing I have to thank you for is for inspiring me to do a Czech podcast as well.
That's awesome.
Because yes, or myself and Trimon, which is like the main man behind the MT community, we started doing the MT podcast, and
Nice.
it kind of recaps what happened in the last month at our scene, and we have a couple of like interviews.
Mhm.
And yes, I was trying to figure out a time window when I would like record some interviews with you as well, but I guess we will leave that for the New Zealand.
I mean, yeah, we will be around, and like there's so many like microphones set up. In fact, I went out and bought like another one at an auction site, another blue.
Of course you
Steven
did.
went to the dump shop.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I can't find. I thought that the Resupply was following your YouTube channel. What's the YouTube channel?
It's my name, Lucidun.
Oh, I thought you guys had a separate one for the podcast.
No,
no,
not
it's right
yet,
there. Okay.
because I will get to the Spotify once I will be more friendish with it, because I received an iPad and there's a Spotify podcast studio for podcasters. So
Wicked.
hopefully I will put them on the Spotify as well. But
Nice.
for now they are just in Czech language. So
Right on. I've got a massive backlog of pods to go up on the Spotify. It's not something that I've stayed on top of, or even putting them on our YouTube. I think I'm about 8 episodes behind on there. Maybe not that many.
Oops.
I was dealing with some this week, so I'll endeavour to get this one up as soon as possible.
Sweet as.
But yeah, we'll be seeing you in a few months, or not a few months, like a few weeks.
Less than 2 months.
Yeah.
Less than 2 months.
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to help us with the outro? We'll do outro. You help us with the outro. We'll do the outro.
Of course.
So we'll be on over the week. Hopefully, we'll be back doing streams again this week. We need to finish, or we need to keep on with this lion temple that we started a couple of weeks ago. I want to get a Thunderdome out this week, and then we'll be back. Hopefully, DK will be joining us next week. But we'll keep you guys in the loop. But until then, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been Than.
And I've been Lucy from the Czech Republic.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. Unless your site doesn't play by those rules, and then don't worry about it. We will see you. We will see you next week. Ka kite anō. Aoi.
Yeah.
I've been throwing daggers in the night. I've been chasing all the stars, stealing all their lights. The cut so sharp, cut so deep. If they seem to hit their target, must be what we reap. 'Cause you don't know what I know. You don't feel the way I feel. All these places I wanna go makes me wonder if my looks could kill. I've been throwing daggers in my dreams. If they seem to hit their target, it's harder than it seems. You don't know what I know. You don't feel the way I feel. All these places I wanna go makes me wonder if my looks could kill. I'm a well-known stranger, walking my own path. Gave up all my mysteries just to get a laugh. You keep me hanging on so tight. to